There we go. All right. I had to take a double take. So, what I was thinking this whole time is that in YouTube Studio, there is a meter that I guess determines um, the input volume of the microphone, and I'm used to it going higher than I'm used to it going higher than 1 bar, and it's stuck at 1 bar right now. So I guess it's working. I did a test. I just did a test. I had a live stream up prior to this one, so the title is different, and I had to check if I was getting sound. So I am. So as long as you guys can hear me, then we're good to go. All right. I'm going to assume so. But what is up, everybody? Lindy End Zone. I had to come on live here. What is going on? What is up? What is up? Got another throwback jersey on today. Detroit Pistons. Chauncey Billups. That's one thing I failed to mention. I got a nice collection of jerseys too. Um, not just obviously not just the Eagles and Mavericks. I got a bunch, man. I got a bunch, but that's besides the point. But what is going on? I came on live for this one, and yeah, so I guess what I wanted to get out of the way, you know, first and foremost is, you know, um, just with Sirianni's press conference, man, Twitter is Twitter is not a good place right now. Um, specifically, um, being Shannon Sharp's comments. I'm not gonna. I mean, you guys can see for yourself what he's posting, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to dive into that type of conversation on my channel because, I'm not. I guess simply put, you know, we're we should all be on this earth together, regardless of you know what my skin complexion is. I'll just put it at that. And um, you know, and it's a shame how it has to continue to carry um, even into professional sports. So, um, man, I'm gonna get on a tangent. I'm gonna get on a tangent. I mean, I I get it. You know, there's it feels like there's some sort of wrong being done here, um, specifically at the head coach position. But it's I'm not gonna say that word. I'm not going to say it. But I hope Shannon realizes that Tracy Rocker and Brian Johnson are obviously, you know, that their color of their skin. I mean, I don't get it. I yeah, I mean, and the whole issue stems from how he and other people feel about guys like Eric Bieniemy and Deuce Staley. People feel that they were wronged in a sense of not getting a proper chance at a head coaching spot. Okay, well, one, I could kind of see that for Deuce. I kind of, not entirely. I could see it for Deuce, but Eric Bieniemy, no, I can't see it because he he turned down the Houston Texans job for one. He wasn't interested in the Houston Texans. So based on where that franchise is and based on where our franchise is right now, there's similarities there. So if because of how can I put this? So because both organizations have um, what am I thinking here? Like they have kind of a similar level of dysfunction going on. Now, of course, we're with Sirianni in here. He's building a coaching staff that that he wants to carry with him for quite some time. But I mean, you got to just think about it. If Bieniemy didn't want to, if he wasn't interested in the Houston Texans, why would he be interested in the Philadelphia Eagles? We're At one point we were in the same position as the Texans, just with different circumstances. I don't get it, but it, I don't know. That's all. That's as far as I'm probably going to go on the subject. I mean, I just think it's. I just. I don't see where. I don't see where Shannon's coming from, and just to just go to the level to then and just to go to the level of making fun of this man stuttering in his very first press conference, in which he is a first time head coach of a of an NFL football team. Granted, he was an offensive coordinator, he was a quarterbacks coach, he played as a wide receiver, whatever. Head coaching is in his family tree, whatever. But he's been to the area before, and I'm sure, there's some butterflies in there. I mean, especially for those, um, for those that have watched his one-on-one, the day before with Dave Spadaro, seemed completely fine. So he goes into this press conference. Who's not who's not going to be nervous in that situation? Uh, Can anybody tell me that? Who's not going to be nervous? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. And then, you know, shout out to Joey Shake 72. He put up a fantastic rant video. Go check it out. Just pointing out the disgusting people in this fan base that are already bashing this guy after a quote unquote poor interview. I mean, this off season has barely started, and the the minute he opens his mouth and uses his breath to say crap in this press conference, oh well, people want to give up on him already. Can we be better than that? Seriously, can we be better than that? I mean, there is. Let's not forget, these are the same people that had the same skepticism of Doug Peterson. I I don't know. I don't know. But okay, so my thought process of the whole thing was I'm I kind of expected this to happen. I mean, aside from the stuttering, and I'm sure he's got a piece of paper that he's holding underneath the desk of the podium, because he looked down a couple of times, just like I just did. He looked down a couple of times, so he's probably got something written down. And what he was saying was very similar to what he was telling Dave Spadaro the day before. So I mean, what what do you want? What do you want from this guy? Let let him do what he was hired to do, and then critique him off of that. Don't start by this. Don't start by this press conference crap. Don't go there just yet. Um, yeah, but personally, personally, like I said, like it is in my title, I'm I'm excited. I mean, anybody should be excited for um, a new future, a new future, a new start for this franchise. And I think I said that in my previous video. You know, like hopefully we can turn a new leaf, and you know, and Sirianni's the guy that can start that for us. Um, he's very high on Shane Steichen. He's very high on Jonathan Gannon. You know, and I get it. He didn't necessarily talk much about the rest of the guys in the coaching staff, but there's more than one press conference for that. Maybe maybe it's not going to come from Nick personally. You know, obviously we're going to hear from Jonathan Gannon. We're going to hear from Shane Steichen. You know, the media wants to know. Um, the media wants to know their views and what they feel about our current roster construction and what they plan on bringing to this football team, you know, based on their philosophy. The same thing is going to go for the defensive line coach, Tracy Rocker, because he's new. The same thing is going to go for the tight ends coach. When we get a linebacker coach, the same thing's going to go for him. I mean, let's not forget because this is what it was. The start of 2020. Rich Scangarella comes in. Marty Morningweg comes in. Um, you know, Press Taylor gets promoted. It's the same principles. The media still wanted to hear from some of these guys in press conferences. The cycle is going to continue. Just relax. Relax. Let this play through. Let's be excited for change. Let's be excited for a new beginning. Cut it out. Cut it out. Be better. Everybody's got to be better. And it goes the same for Nick Sirianni. He wants this football team to be better. He wants to bring more Lombardis. He he wants to either establish or build on the culture that has been developed here. Don't go crushing them after one quote unquote poor press conference. Don't do it. All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna continue to rant about that. I guess let's get talking about I guess a wish list going forward. Whew. Well, from what we know, he's big on wide receivers, so it's likely that Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey aren't coming back. A lot of the fan base would want to, you know, keep it that way. So, I mean, if the way the way this coaching staff is constructed, a lot of the guys who we have on roster right now, I mean, should be, should be used better. I mean, I want to see Jalen Rager and more opportunities, not just on long developing vertical routes all the time. The Eagles were number one in vertical routes last year. Go figure. So, I mean, we want to see that. Um, maybe I want to see Jalen Rager in the slot a little bit. I think he'd be very advantageous there. I want to, I want to see where Travis Fulgham is. I mean, I don't know about JJ Arcega-Whiteside. You know, I think to most people the jury's out on him, but you just never know. It seems that it. And the good news about this is just knowing for the moment that wide receivers coach Aaron Moorhead is still possibly being retained. Um, I mean, all we know right now is that him and Nick had a good conversation. That's about it. But it's um, according to according to reports and sources and whatever, it's looking likely that Aaron Moorhead will stay as the wide receivers coach, and it makes sense for him to anyway. And we just we can't continue to we can't continue to um, change coaches year after year because you can't build that chemistry that a coach needs with his players. It's like he only gets a year with them, and it's like you're just starting over with a new coach where he has to learn the players. He has to go over film. He's got to know what they do best, what they need improvement on. Aaron knows all this already, so to keep him would be the best bet. And because of the fact that a lot of the coaches that have been brought in have experience as being a wide receivers coach. You can't go wrong. It's that, like I said in another video, repeating myself again, but it's good to have that kind of diversity as far as experience. I'm very intrigued with Brian Johnson. Um, I would love to see what he can do for Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts, whoever the rest of the quarterbacks in the rotation may be. Um, who knows if Nate Sudfeld's still going to be here? Not that it really matters. I don't think anybody really cares about Nate. Whether Nate stays or goes at this point. Um, I think Kyle Laeta is still with us. He may be, he may not be. I'm not sure. But I want to see what our new um, I want to see what our new tight ends coach can do. And but I'm kind of jumping all over the place. But firstly, I was talking about the wide receivers. So getting back to them, even outside of Jalen Rager and Arthega Whiteside, because I'm kind of going from first rounders and second rounders and whatever. We seen at one point in the season, we seen John Hightower just completely, you know, getting a drastic cut in his snap count. Travis Fulgham wasn't uh, necessarily trusted anymore. He was going through some issues of his own, and I mean, obviously, to a lot of people, they feel that Alshon Jeffrey coming back impacted it the most, and it pretty much did. So I don't think Travis isn't completely um, unreliable. It's just that when a guy's in a groove, when he's in a rhythm, and then you feel obligated to put somebody else back in the lineup and back in the rotation because they got X amount of dollars tied to them, that stunts the growth of the guys coming behind him who were more productive. Let's not forget, Travis Fulgham had that fantastic game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Our only receiver to go over 150 yards last year. Um, he did have some other good games of 70 plus, and 49ers game was good. Baltimore Ravens game was good. I just said the Steelers, so it's like you can't expect any progress if you're going to stop it because you're tied to these veterans that can't stay on the football field. And unfortunately, for the sake of Alshon and Deshaun Jackson, that's most likely going to be the case. So therefore, we need to see more of Travis. We need to see more of Rager. We need to see where Arthega-Whiteside is at with this new coaching staff. And another, and who knows? Maybe he's still going to stay. I know Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman talked about wanting to keep Arthega-Whiteside, but it's just going to come down to the competition when training camp begins, and just how he looks in preseason games. Barring if it goes this way, that we do have a normal offseason, which everybody's hoping for, especially when, especially for a first-year head coach. I mean, man, I know a lot of us aren't feeling that we're going to be competitive, but this just isn't going to make anything better if the off season isn't somewhat normal. So, but yeah, I mean, even like I already mentioned, John Hightower, and I've said this in multiple videos in the past. He wasn't used right. It was disgusting seeing him on the field for just a bunch of verticals when he's a lot more universal than that. Quez Watkins, I get it, he's a sixth rounder, but man, when he flashed. So there's something there. You can work all the quirks out. Get him a little more implemented. And it would still be okay at the same time if we took a receiver in the draft. We're most likely going to. Sirianni is focused on the wide receiver position. What has been our weakest point on offense? Wide receiver. As well, yes and no. And I'll backtrack a little bit because 2020 the offensive line had 4 different rotations in 16 games. But aside from 2020, there wasn't much concern with the offensive line, even when Brandon Brooks was going down with his Achilles injuries, and Lane Johnson is in and out with either a knee or an ankle, which if I'm honest, I'm still worried about them too going forward, especially that they're veterans. But man, I'm hoping that we just get more in the coming days, coming weeks. Would like to hear from some of the other new guys on the coaching staff. If they started with Sirianni, I'm going to guess that the next guy would either be Jonathan Gannon or Shane Steichen. I would think that them two would be next as far as the coaching staff goes, and then everybody else under them probably like maybe the tight ends coach or Tracy or Brian, who knows? But I won't carry this on much longer. I just wanted to come on here, give some quick reactions, quick thoughts of the press conference, and just try to wean out the crap that some people in this fan base are spewing all over social media and just trying to destroy this man already on Twitter. Like, we got to be better than this, people. We got to be better. We got to be better. And with that, this has been Lindy End Zone for the touchdown. I'm taking the lead for the Eagles one video at a time, as well as the Dallas Mavericks. I'll have to catch y'all in the next one. See you later.